Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm IATF qualified auditor. I'm doing audit for the automotive sector for the last 18 years. I'm again back with a very interesting topic. What is the key difference between failure mode, failure cause and failure effect? So when we talk about FMEA, failure mode and effect analysis, in our day-to-day life also we are doing all kind of FMEAs, maybe in our mind. Say for example, we are going for an outing outside and we find that weather is not good. So we do analyze what can be the possible risk and what will be the impact of the risk if that actually happens, if the rain actually happens. So what to do with respect to that so that we can enjoy whatever we want to do. So that's all a basic FMEA that I'm talking about. So in this particular video, I'm going to talk about what is FMEA, what is failure mode, what is failure cause, what is failure effect, what is the linkage between failure mode and failure cause and failure effect, and I'll give example with respect to PFMEA and DFMEA. What are the key challenges that industry is facing with respect to FMEA? So that's all I'm going to cover in this particular video. And I'm talking everything with reference to FMEA VDA first edition, which came in June 2019 version. So let me first start with the basic definition of FMEA. So when we talk about FMEA, it is basically a team-oriented, a systematic and a qualitative and analytical method to analyze, to identify and to mitigate the technical risk. So here two words are very important. It is qualitative and we are talking about technical risk. We are not talking about anything related to money, anything related to quantitative issues. We are specifically talking about only qualitative issues and which are related to the technical risk only. Now further, there are three key factors that we can discuss with respect to FMEA. That is failure mode, failure effect and failure cause. So before talking about that, it's important to understand that FMEA is before the event and not after the event. So whenever we need to make FMEA, we need to make sure that before we are doing a particular activity, prior to that we need to do. Say for example, DFMEA we need to do in the beginning of second phase of APQP, and PFMEA we need to do before in the third phase of APQP when we just start that activity related to the process. Now to talk about basic definition with respect to failure mode, failure effect and failure cause. So when we talk about failure mode, we are talking about the possible ways or modes in which something might fail. Now it can be any error, it can be any defect which can affect the customer, or it can be a potential thing which can happen. When we talk about failure effect, so basically we are referring to the consequences of all those failures. So that is all about failure effect. And when we talk about failure causes or failure cause, so basically it's an indication of why the failure mode could occur. One very important thing about identifying the failure is that it should be identified clearly, concisely and in a positive way. Say for example, we are talking about drill hole or maybe apply the grease. So there are certain clear ways in which we should specify with respect to the what is a function, and once we clearly specify the function, it's very easy to link with a failure also. Some of the key objectives that why do we go for the failure analysis related to product and process. So first of all, we want to establish the failure chain. Secondly, once we identify the failure chain, then we can identify the linkage between failure mode to failure effect as well as failure causes, and we can also understand that what can be the impact of these failures on the customers and on the suppliers also. When we talk about failures, what does the failure mean? So failure means a non-conformity. It can be any unintentional activity, maybe unnecessary activity, or maybe something which is happening inconsistently or partially. Then comes a very important word, failure chain. So if you look into the picture, when we talk about failure chain, it talks about three important things: failure mode, failure effect and failure cause. So if you look into the picture, it's very clear that both failure effect and failure cause are related to failure mode. So unless and until we are clearly specifying the failure mode, whatever failure effect or failure cause that we are going to specify, it will not be right. So we need to very clearly identify the failure modes. To talk about who can be the possible customer when we are talking about making an FMEA. So it can be the end customer, the person who is actually using the particular product in the vehicle. It can be the next process also, the person who is going to use that particular product or that particular thing in the next assembly or something like that. It can be the external customer, which can be the tier 2, tier 1, OEM, or maybe the dealer. That could be the possibility. Customer can also be a legal body in a particular country, that they also have got certain guidelines, whether you're fulfilling to those guidelines or not. That can also be a particular customer. Some of the basic assumptions that we make when we are making an FMEA. So first of the basic assumption is that whatever design that we are making is correct. Whatever inputs that we are getting from the customer with respect to product design is also correct. We also assume that the incoming material that is coming to us is also correct. And also the failure mode can occur, but there is a possibility it may not occur also. So now I will go further to talk about that failure chain. So in that failure chain, the first thing is failure effect. So when we talk about failure effect or FE, it is basically a consequence of a failure mode. And basically, when we talk about failure mode, failure effect, this is an impact which is generally being felt either by the customer or by the sub-supplier or maybe the customer also. And it can be related to the fitment function, it can be related to safety requirement, it can be related to any regulatory and statutory requirement also. And whatever is a failure effect, whatever severity ranking that we identify, that is directly linked with the impact that is coming out from the failure effect also. And when we talk about the failure effect, the output, it can be in the same plant where we are working. If it is detected internally, it can be the immediate customer where we are supplying to the material, who is again going to use it for doing some more assembly, or it can be the end user who is actually going to use the vehicle. Say for example, the person who is driving the car, and when is applying the brake, there is some problem happening with respect to that. Or maybe when the steering is being used, there is some problem with respect to the steering. So that can be the end user also. Some of the possible questions that we can ask related to the failure effect is, first is that does the failure mode physically impact the next process or the operator or the equipment? Secondly, what can be the potential impact on the end user? So in that case, we need to link it with DFME and PFME. And third, and the most important is, what would happen if the failure effect is detected before it reaches to the end user? What is going to happen at that time? So that brings part number 2. That is failure mode, which is, if you see the failure chain, which is in the center and the most important thing. So when we talk about failure mode, it is the manner in which a process can cause the product not to deliver or to provide the intended function. It's very, very important that whenever you are defining the failure mode, it should be in technical terms and not in terms of the symptom. So if we are specifying in the technical term, whatever effect we are specifying and whatever cause we are specifying, that will be very clear and concise also. So very important to clearly specify the failure modes. Some of the possible inputs with respect to the failure modes could be some of the things which have gone wrong previously. It can be the reports, internal reports related to the rejection or the scrap. It can be the brainstorming session which is done by the cross-functional team, or it can be the customer rejection which has happened in the recent past. Now, talk about some of the possible categories when we talk about the failure modes, by which we can say that these can be the possible failure modes. So the first one is the loss of process function. So it can be maybe the label is missing. We need to apply a label, but that label is missing from a particular product, but it's very important for that particular function. Now, second could be the partial or degradation of a function, that partially it is working. Say for example, barcode is there, but it's not legible, we cannot read it, we cannot scan it. That can be another thing. Third can be the unstable operation, that process is sometimes working, sometimes it is not working, and that is resulting in that sometimes we are accepting a wrong part or sometimes we are rejecting a good part. Another thing could be we are just installing a wrong part. Now these days we are using a lot of software, so maybe in an ECU, electronic control unit, we have put a wrong software, and the result whatever is coming is also creating a problem. And sometimes we are overachieving our process function. Say for example, we need a certain finish, but the finish is too much. So that also is creating some problem. So that can also be one of the failure mode. So that brings part number 3 of the failure chain, failure causes. So when we talk about failure cause, basically it is an indication of why failure mode could occur. So the consequence of the cause is the failure mode. Now there can be different possibilities that why the failure cause can happen. So it can happen because of the 6M: man, machine, material, method, measurement, and Mother Earth. So when we talk about men, basically it is related to, say for example, the operators who are working on the machine, who are doing some setup operations. So if they do not do it properly, there can be some failures. When we talk about machines, these days we are using robots, or maybe say we are using some fixtures for cooling and all that. There can be some problem with respect to that. When we talk about the material, so what kind of grease we are using, what kind of oil we are using, there can be some problem with respect to that. When we talk about a method, so there is a certain sequence how to tighten the bolt. If we are not using it in that way, that can be a problem. When we talk about measurement, the way in which we have to do the measurement, or maybe the kind of instrument that we need to do the measurement, if you are not using the right instrument, say right vernier or micrometer, that can also create some problem with respect to that. And the lastly is the environment, that if certain kind of environment is required with respect to humidity, temperature, lighting, noise, if you are not getting that kind of thing, that can be also a big challenge with respect to that. Now that brings to understand the right question that we need to ask in case we need to understand clearly the failure causes and failure effect. So when we want to link failure causes to the failure mode, the right question is, why is the failure mode happening? So when we ask this question, certainly we will get the cause correctly. Similarly, when we want to link failure effect with the failure mode, the question should be, what happens in the event of a failure mode? So when we ask this question, there is a very high possibility that whatever effect that we are going to identify, that will be appropriate to the failure mode. Let's understand by taking two different examples. One is related to DFMEA and another related to PFMEA. So while taking an example of design failure mode and effect analysis, let's assume that there is a particular function and a requirement, that is that we need to stop a vehicle by applying a brake pedal. So that's a function that is there. Now, what can be the passive failure mode? Maybe the vehicle is not stopping. There can be many more, but we are just taking one example, that vehicle is not stopping. Now, what can be the possible causes of that? So first could be there is a loss of hydraulic fluid from the loose hydraulic line. That can be one of the reasons. Secondly, there can be the mechanical linkage breakup which can result in this problem. And third could be there is some vacuum issue because of some seal design issue that can also cause that. Now, what is the failure effect, that in case the vehicle is not stopping, what is the possible effect of it? The first thing is the vehicle control is impaired. It means that vehicle is not under control. And secondly, it is also impacting in some way with respect to the legal requirement which we must fulfill. Now take another example with respect to PFMEA, process failure mode and effect analysis. And here we are taking a very simple example, that we are just putting up a cushion on which we generally sit in a car, and we are tightening it by using a torque gun. So what can be the possible failure mode? So let's assume there is one possible failure mode, is that we need to screw 4 screws we need to put, and there are less than 4 screws. That is a possible failure mode. So what is the cause of that failure? So first is that maybe there is no work instruction to define that how many screws or bolts we need to put. Second could be the desired number of bolts are not available. Third could be the operator is not aware that how many screws they need to fit it. Now what can be the possible failure effect of this particular failure mode? First of all, the screw, that cushion will be loose, that is one thing. Secondly, there could be a possibility that we may identify this particular looseness before the material is getting dispatched, so that shipment is stopped and we may do the reworking, and this can also result in the delay in customer delivery. So that can be the another possible thing. Now to talk about some of the key challenges that industry is facing with respect to FMEA. So the first and the most important thing is that how often it is being seen that the people who are actually making FMEA, they are clear about the linkage between failure mode with failure cause and with failure effect. The second important thing is that whenever a CFT is being made, the cross-functional team is working on it, whether they are actually competent, and how often actually the CFT is making FMEA and not the one person. The third very important thing is how often, whenever you are making an FME and implementing it, say for a year or two, we are linking it with the cost of poor quality, that whether that is being impacted, we are getting some benefit out of it or not. And the fourth and the most important thing is that whenever we are doing any FMEA, so there are some pending actions, there are some recommended actions. How often we are linking all those pending and recommended actions in the management review meeting, so that the top management is also aware that what can be the possible failures that can happen. Now, to talk in summary with respect to the failure mode, failure effect, and failure causes. So when we talk about failure mode, we are talking about the ways in which something can go wrong. When we talk about failure effect, we are talking about the consequences of those failures. And when we talk about failure causes, we are talking about the indication that why that failure mode could occur. My next video will again be in related to the FMEA only, and that is the key difference between severity, occurrence, and detection. Regularly, I am getting a lot of feedback from your side, and they are helping me to understand your expectations. So please do continue that. And in case you want to understand about this particular video in a little bit more detail, so if you see there is a link below, if you click that, you will find a blog there, and there you will find this particular video in much more detail. And in case you're liking these kind of videos, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangla.com. Thank you.